Cutie Pie Pumpkin, welcome to you. I want to do a quick update on what's been happening on the weekend. So, very interesting to see. We have had the big crypto vomit, capitulation, anger, depression. We're so angry, sad. But look what's been happening. The Bitcoin dominance, which measures the size of Bitcoin compared to the rest of the crypto market, it has been dropping. This is crazy. Traditionally, what we see is Bitcoin gains dominance because people flood out of the altcoins and they move into Bitcoin. This is what happened in previous bear markets. And I'm going to show you that soon. So it's dumped down to 49% on a daily candle. Okay, this is very interesting to see. What does that mean? It means Ethereum is actually holding up, friends. This is actually insane that Ethereum during these times of turmoil is holding up. This is the weekly chart. Look at this little green weekly candle. So you would think, right, you just like stepped outside, you're an alien, you come landed here on Earth. You took a car on the White House and you observed. You would think that Ethereum would dump with a widespread capitulation, thin type of liquidity event. You would think that. But what we've been seeing is that Ethereum has been holding up really well against Bitcoin. This is the weekly chart. That's why this rectangle, friends, once we're finally done, I don't think we ever come back here. Just like this rectangle down here. That's why I feel like when Ethereum finally is ready to move up, it's going to move between 0.08, maybe 0.12. So you're going to say about 0.110, 0.10 in the middle. What does that mean? Ethereum is about 10% of Bitcoin size. Now, you don't know the US dollar, but it's just giving you an idea. You know, if Bitcoin one day is 80,000, then Ethereum would be 8,000. And what's fascinating to see is that even though the yields are destroying the rest of the world markets, altcoins are still holding up here. So this is the US bond yields. That's why we're going to have go back and look at the Bitcoin dominance, but it's very interesting to see. Look at this. So the US bond yields. So what you can do is you can look at a very long term. Look at this, friends. This is 1979 here. So this is a 2-month chart. This is huge. You can see these yields were just dropping down. The average yield of the economy that it could handle was dropping down over time. And then we just gone bang. So this is a symptom of putting rates at 0% for a long time. So what happens is you've basically kept a lot of zombie companies. So there are a lot of undead zombie companies and they're kept around and they've added a lot of unnecessary dead weight to the economy everywhere. They've hired excess people, they've got excess buildings, excess offices, and they were never wiped out. So what happens now is we're getting this bubbly undertone of inflation with the money supply. So now you can see that the yields are starting to go up. By the way, because this yield is going up, that means the price of the bond is actually going down. It's crashing down to the floor. It means investors don't want to hold it. Now, this is going to force yield curve control. It will, because this is how the government basically spends. So the government says, hey, we need $10 billion because we want to build a bridge somewhere. They'll release a bond and they'll give you the yield interest payment over time. All right. So this is the important part to think about once we're trying to navigate this crypto market, because I just showed you the Bitcoin dominance, right? And these yields. Think about this. You would think that with interest rates so high and the yields pumping up this much, you would think that Bitcoin would be safety versus the rest of the altcoins, but it's actually not. So remember, the US government interest rate repayments, they are now huge. So what happens from now? Here I'm telling you that there will be a crack and the economy is going to crack. We already saw this, by the way. The banks cracked already. Something else is going to crack in the system. The Fed is going to have to come in and do yield curve control. So yield curve control, it's QE, but it's slower. So instead of going to the market and just buying up the bonds here, right, and just basically crashing down these yields, they sit there with limit orders basically, and they go, yeah, we're going to toggle the yield here and there. They are acting with manipulation, but not as super aggressive as we saw in 2021. So it is an achievement to see that Ethereum is holding up with such high yields, because you would think that Ethereum and the altcoins are basically a high beta, or basically just we're further along down the risk curve compared to Bitcoin. So it is fascinating to see that the crypto market itself, it means altcoins are really ready to go. That's what it means. And this is the Bitcoin dominance chart itself. You can see that has been trending down over time, friends. But when it comes to this altcoin dominance, so what everybody does is they go back to the past and they say, well, in the past, what happened was in the previous bear markets, it just went up and up and up. That's what everybody's looking at here. But this is not a fair way to look at it, because this whole move of Bitcoin dominance going up, it was ETH BTC crashing. So Ethereum got pummeled to the floor, and I can show it to you right now. So Ethereum versus Bitcoin got destroyed from that, down 90%. And Ethereum is an enormous part of the crypto sector in terms of size and market cap. So when you're looking at this Bitcoin dominance, it's pretty much Ethereum. That's what it is. It's basically inverse ETH BTC. This chart is inverse ETH BTC chart. And it's very interesting. This is a monthly, and it's starting to turn here, which is fascinating because for a long time, friends, I've been saying for a very long time that if we are repeating what happens in the real world, well, Bitcoin is basically just too boring. Bitcoin is the layer zero. Bitcoin, this dominance should just literally go down and down and down over time. And it makes sense because Bitcoin is not adding any functions. Now, it's not bad, but you need safety. You need safety out there. It doesn't mean you go and play around with it, but you need it to act as layer zero of the internet. You need it to be the super duper backbone, just like we need gold to exist in the world. It doesn't mean you want to play with gold every day, but we do need it to exist. And that's what we might be seeing play out with crypto. You know, I've also posted this stat. Gold is about 10 trill, and then stocks is about 100 and just to say 100 trill. It's a bit higher than that. So if you look at this, gold dominance is only 10%. Now, it's not a fair, complete calculation, but gold versus stocks, that's the number, about 10%. That's why my long-term type of prediction is eventually over time, we just see this dominance just go down and down and down and down over time. And it makes sense because you're going to add real-world assets. And by the way, this dominance does include stablecoins. Even if you remove the stablecoins, you can tell that eventually people are cracking the code. They're going to add Ethereum. They're going to add more smart contracts, more usability, and things to come in the future. So we're going to have a look at the Bitcoin price chart. And I want to highlight something to you. Back during the death days, yes, we're still in the death phase, but in 2022, when it was just literally down only in the death zone, I was making very early videos in Q4 of 2022, around here, and around this zone. And basically, I was just speculating. I said, well, in my experience of markets, what I feel and what no one's talking about is this. This is what I liked, friends. One, after we had the FTX collapse, nobody started to think about 2015 and 2016. That was when Mt. Gox collapsed. Mt. Gox collapsed, and it was devastating for the industry. And it collapsed, and it was just liquidating all year, bad, and then we reversed up. And I highlighted this as something important, and no one was talking about it. None of the major crypto influencers, nobody on Twitter, no one's saying that we might do the past ghost fractal of the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle. Instead, you know what everybody did? Instead, everybody looked at the previous bear market itself, 2019 to 2020. They looked at this. They said, oh, we're going to have a big rally up because everybody thinks they're going to be the geniuses to sell the top, and then they're going to get some sort of black swan, and then they get back in again. If you go back, look at everyone on Twitter, you have these exact same patterns, friends. Everybody gets the fractal of this, and they see the black swan, and then they go and they plot it out, and they show it off basically here. And what I've done is I've just got the ghost fractal for you here. And you can see it. That's exactly what everyone has. This is exactly what everyone has. But here's the thing. We did not go to the plus token Ponzi euphoria. We did not hit $46,000 to $50,000 at all. We've still started in this zone. So I can go back and show you what it did in the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle and where it would be. And I've grabbed it right here. And now we can just go and place it on, and we can try to observe and compare the different cycles and try to compare, which one is moving faster, which one is moving slow. We had a bit of a double bottom. This is what we see right now. What I've done is I put the plus token Ponzi one in yellow here. So you can see it right now. So I'm going to delete it here. So this is this one here. This is what you see on everyone's charts. Everybody's got the black swan zombie virus attack. And what I like seeing is this everywhere. Why? It means it's not going to happen. All right. It makes it difficult, but it's not going to happen, friends, because now something else is going to happen, because that's how markets work. Every single person is ready for the black swan. Every single person. Go look at any altcoin. Go look at any Bitcoin, Ethereum person. They're all talking about 2020. They said, we'll even go watch Sir Ivan the Great, the Ivan on technology. Always talks about, hey, do you remember that day we woke up in 2020 March? We woke up minus 40%. Bang, it was all over. Everybody talks about it. We remember it so clear. And in my experience, you can delete it right now. Markets, do you think they're going to give it to you that easy, friends? Do you honestly think they're going to give it to you that easy? That's why I look around you, okay? Everybody's sidelined. Everybody's still got a lot of stable coins. What are they waiting for? I know people, I know so many people, everybody has 20, 30, 40 to 60% stable coins. Why? Because they're waiting for this so they can get in. They're all ready. They're all hungry for it. The market doesn't do that, man. It doesn't give it to you easy. It makes it hard. I'm telling you right now, it really makes you work for it. Do you know what would be the hardest thing for someone just to deploy all their stable coins right here, and then this chart pattern continues? Look at this chart pattern. That would be the super difficult mode because no one's going to do it. That's why you might find it's going to be tougher than most people think. You know, this is roughly what would happen. This path outline. This would be repeating the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle. So just to remind you again, right? So at the end of 2022. I was speaking about it, no one else was. And I like that. I could identify this edge. And I've noticed even today, nobody out there, except actually Crypto Crew University, shout out to Steve out there. He's the only person like me who says, wait a minute, this is exactly like the 2015, 2016 cycle. And you know what's fascinating to me? There's only like 3 cycles, man. Like, doesn't anybody do their research and their homework? But clearly not. Everybody says this time is different, something different is happening. And, you know, we can go back and look at that Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle just to refresh your memory. Yeah, it looked like it was over every time, friends. You have, you know what I mean? You got, you know, oh, it's over. And then, it's over. So you don't know what's coming to the right-hand side. It just looks like it's grinding up forever. Or it doesn't look like it's grinding. It just looks like, we might not be able to, like, we can't bounce. We can't go up. And then eventually something pops. That's a fantastic thing. And what I've done is actually I have perfectly lined up the timing of the double bottoms for this fractal. And friends, I'm going to change it now for the color just so you can see it. It's actually crazy what's happening on here, friends. It's absolutely nuts. You know why? If we go down here, do you see this wick down here? This was the final bottom for the bear market. Okay, see here? The final bottom of the bear market in the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle 2015, 2016. What's interesting is exactly when it was due, we had the USDC depegging, that event. So I can hide it for you right now just to show you. Or we can just zoom in right now. Like this weekly candle, you see this doji candle? That's the USDC depegging. And then look at this big red candle. Like it's so nuts. It happened right around it. And you know, it's also fascinating. This is crazy. There was a giant spike up out of the bear market for that Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle as well. But this is what comes next. What actually says it comes next is boring death. That's what it actually says. Boring sideways. You think it's over. And then look at this. This is the Bitcoin halvening. You see this Bitcoin halvening rung and then snap. So the timing, I mean, it's crazy on that. What's interesting is, look at this. It's like right on line. I've done the exact fractal of it. Now, are we going to get this? It doesn't have to happen like this. We don't know. Of course, you know, man, we can flop down. We can turn around. It can all be over. But it's crazy, man. Sometimes, friends, these things line up. Sometimes you can identify something. No one else is looking at it. And then you get the idea. You think, okay, that's great. No one else is looking at it. Now I can proceed forward with strength. And why I think has a good chance of lining up is, just think about this. This was the collapse we had. This is ETH BTC on a 4-hour time frame. Look at this. ETH BTC went down and zip back up. Ethereum is strong against Bitcoin. The market's smart. It knows Mt. Gox is going to have the $140,000 Bitcoin supply coming out. The government's still dumping. GBTC gap still not closed. See, the market is more intelligent than you think, friends. People know. The edge is diminishing away, all right? Ethereum strong against Bitcoin, despite those scam announcements, okay? ETH BTC holding up, still 0.064. Most Bitcoin maxis, everybody thinks ETH BTC is just going to keep crashing, down at 4s, 3s, 2s, literally 0.02, all right? Many crypto influencers out there still say that Bitcoin dominance is going up, but this is fascinating to see. It's going the other way. That's why it's the market sending me and you a signal. And that's why I've told you, what is that signal? Well, my final message for you. In each cycle, altcoins started to occur earlier and earlier. All right. I've done many videos and I'm going to go through more in the future where I show you, they used to start at the end of the cycle, then 3/4, then halfway. Now, this chart, if we repeat this chart, it's crazy. Remember, altcoins love moving when Bitcoin's kind of too boring. So it would be crazy if that happens around the Bitcoin halvening again, because if we are to continue this, I mean, hey, the market's getting smarter. You know this. Who wants to come in and buy $20, $30, $40, $50,000 Bitcoin? You can't do it. The average person's only got $1,400 to invest. They know they're not retiring off that. You got to think bigger, okay, friends? Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate every single one of you. We're here to shock the algorithm. Catch you in the next one.